All right, guys, so this is what a pretty typical Sunday looks like right now. So get up, my body wants to just get up around like 6:37. So it's about 8, 9 o'clock at this point. By the time we've gotten up, probably had the meal. And it's a ab and cardio day, but it's a rest day from the gym other than that. So no weights, headed over to EOS Fitness. So I'm a trainer at Advanced Fitness. I do like a few of the machines at EOS. And then, having like a big commercial gym is something always nice to kind of have in the back pocket, just in case you're ever traveling. You can always pretty much go find a EOS Fitness just about anywhere versus paying for a guest pass. I don't travel that much, but I do actually enjoy some of their equipment. I like their ab crunch here. I like the big stretch that I can get it at the top. And I like how the elbow pads are on this one. That way I could just focus on bringing my sternum to my pelvis here and just try to get a good crunch. So I'll do 2 sets of those for about 12 to 15. And then I really like this one. This is an oblique rotation or anti-rotation. I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is, but or torso twist. I'm loading this one a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy heavy on it. I'll go for more of that like 10 to 15 rep range on these. And I really feel like my obliques have gotten in good shape doing these. I think with bodybuilding, a lot of our movements are just locked down, core's tight, everything's stiff and stable, which is good because you're trying to output other muscles. But rotation is something that's often neglected. And I want to be a complete athlete, and Men's Physique guys, they have obliques, so I definitely need to put a little bit of work into them, and they really do actually help my back out too, which actually feels really good. And then I just finished up with 2 sets of basically knees to chest leg raises. So as you see, I'm like hiking my legs up pretty high. I'm just trying to bring that pelvis now to my sternum. So more of that lower ab. And if you just raise your knees, really all you're going to kind of get out of this is a lot of hip flexors. So you really want to be able to get that butt up. All right, guys, what's going on? So officially rolling into 9 weeks out. By the time this video goes up, we'll be right about 8 weeks out. So wanted to jump in, do a quick update from what has been happening. So from 10 weeks out, last week we weighed 183.6 or 183.4, somewhere around there. And we're holding weight steady right now at 183.6. So last week, I put up a few videos, and we did a free meal last week. We did some Five Guys. I did 5 low day diets, which was 210 protein, 197 carbs, 51 fat. So that was 5 days out of last week. And then I did 2 base day diets on my back day, which was 232 protein, 242 carbs, 51 fat. Now, rolling into 9 weeks out and then going into 8 weeks out now, we are changing diet to now just 1 base diet, and food is coming down from where it was around 2,300 calories to now it's about right at 2,000 calories, just under. So we're going to be at 205 protein, 191 carbs, and then 40 grams of fat. So things are about to get moving here. We're going to start to see a drop. So that's really the change this week. Nothing has changed between cardio. Cardio is still 5 times per week on the bike for 35 minutes, and I try to get 60, sometimes 70 rotations per minute, but I just try to make sure I'm at a good intensity. We're not like babying the resistance on that bike. So I'm still moving at a good pace, and able to pump through that full 35 minutes. Steps are still 12K a day, so got to do what you got to do to get those steps in. We got rain yesterday, so I wasn't able to go out and get my steps in, but that doesn't mean that we didn't get the steps in anyways. So sometimes what I'll do is if I'm not able to go out for a walk and get steps, so I'll just walk at a light pace on the treadmill, somewhere between 2.5 to maybe 3 miles per hour at the most. I usually am at like 2.8. And that's just to finish out my steps for the day. So that'll take me 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but I'm just on my phone at that point. My phone does all the tracking of my steps. So you can use like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, those types of things that'll track your steps throughout the day. I just keep my phone on me pretty much 24/7, so it's picking up steps. Now, when I'm doing my 35 minutes of cardio on the bike, I'm setting the phone down because I don't want the bike to start counting that as steps. I keep those two separate. Or if you're someone who's doing the treadmill and you have a step count, like what I tell my clients is for your cardio, set the phone on the actual cardio machine. That way it's not tracking steps. The reason why we track steps is because as you get later on into a diet or into a prep, you're going to naturally start to slow down. You're going to naturally want to rest more, which is good. Rest is good. No, nothing wrong with resting. You want to get proper rest, but naturally the body just wants to do less. So having a baseline to hit every day of a step goal keeps you moving and keeps your caloric output to be, at a consistent variable. And that's what we need consistency. So guys, I'm going to go eat my meal one. My meal one is now oats instead of the rice checks. And then I'm having 10 egg whites and 1 whole egg. So I'm going to go eat. Oh, I also do get the 100 grams of berries. So that's making those oats taste good. And I'm actually excited for oats. If you're excited to eat oats, diet's probably working. All right, off to breakfast. Got 10 egg whites, 1 whole egg. And then we got our oats we got 100 grams of berries in there. I'm going to chow down, guys. I'm super hungry. It's time to eat. All right, guys. Meal 2 is about to go down right now. We're going to have 176 grams of chicken. And we're going to have 140 grams of rice. So how I prep up my food is I use the slow cooker. All my meats, I just keep in the refrigerator just like this. They're ready to go. And then I'm here. And I'm going to go ahead and just weigh out my chicken. So this makes it really easy. Now, if you're someone who's on the go, then you grab a meal prep container. But this beats having 40 meal prep containers in your refrigerator. So same thing with rice. Big container for rice. You need 140 grams of rice. So this is my pre-workout meal right now. Chicken and rice. And then there is 60 grams of avocado in here. However, I'm out of avocado, so I'm not just going to skip it. I'm going to get my fats from almond butter. I'm going to go ahead and actually season it now with the seasonings I like. I'll do this one actually. Onion powder. I put on some Jack Daniel's Fire that I really like. A little bit of paprika. And then a little bit of salt-free roasted garlic and bell pepper. Really good one. Oh, a little bit of salt too. Pre-workout, I like a little bit more sodium. 2.5 minutes in the microwave, and then we will get to eat. All right, guys, we got meal 2 prepared here. And then I love this one for chicken in particular. This is G. Hughes sugar-free Thai chili. So these sauces have been such a hack for eating chicken and rice every day, especially, but they just help make the meal a bit different each time. So they make a ton of different ones. Now, with my clients, I always tell them to double check labels. Just because something says it's sugar-free or it could say fat-free, double check the label. So let's go over the macros really quick with this. First things first is serving size. Serving size here is 1 tablespoon. It's 15 milliliters. We get 0 grams of fat. Well, calories first. Calories is 5. 0 grams of fat. Sodium's 115. Carbs is 1 gram of carbs. Sugar, 0 protein. So really nothing to really sweat. However, on other seasonings, you may see sugar-free, but it's got a ton of fat, or it might be fat-free, but it's got a ton of sugar or carbs in it. We stick to mostly, ideally, the lowest calorie seasonings and sauces as possible. So if it's under 5 calories, that's where we like to be. If it's under 10, we may use it sparingly. However, this one is MAT approved. So G. Hughes sugar-free Thai chili wing sauce. It's a little spicy, it's a little sweet. 's perfect for my chicken and rice.
just gonna turn a whole family into millionaires.
How often does this happen? Going after skin girl?
Okay, get the... You eat the ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're heading to the gym right now. It's about 9:30. Quick workout, quick 3,000 steps I've got to get done today. She's gonna do an arm and shoulder workout. She's had a long 12-hour day, but she's gonna get it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, so got to the gym super late that night. Diana worked a 12-hour shift. I needed 3,000 more steps that day, so just walked them out on the treadmill, about 15-20 minutes at about 2.8 to 3 miles per hour, and I was done. So Diana started her workout with some side raises with the band, and then these are all supersets, so she went into a single arm side raise here to really train that lengthen position at the bottom where you're going to get the most growth and the most stimulus. Then we moved on to a neutral grip dumbbell press. So I like to have guys and girls both do these. That way they can start to feel their lats more. To be able to actually stabilize your lats, you're going to eventually get more out of your overall pressing movements. Then we supersetted with a shoulder calf raise press. If you've never done this, these are solid. I love that exercise. Moved on to a preacher curl. This is kind of a boring exercise, guys. I was messing around with some of the camera to make this look a lot cooler than it actually is. But yeah, preacher curls, if you want to build huge biceps, they are your answer. So 2 to 3 sets there, and then she contemplated life for 2 or 3 sets, and then we did a single arm tricep push down. Once again, guys, all supersets here. Keep that elbow tucked in that same position. Moved on to a hammer curl after that, and as you see, she's making some faces here, but this is what we want to see. You should be training to failure, or at least close to failure, if you really want to make some progress in the gym. This is not just for guys, not just for girls. Everybody needs to train to failure. There's no such thing as a toning workout or a bulking workout. Building muscle is building muscle, and you need to go to failure and make some faces to build some muscle. And that's what we're doing here. So she finished those out, and then we went into an overhead tricep extension. Now the goal here is not to squeeze the tricep at the top. Goal is to get as much stretch. So pin those elbows and just work the bottom portion even once you start to fail. Then she went into some abs. Did a ab crunch on the lat pull down, trying to bring the sternum towards the pelvis. That is the goal with the abs, not just bending the back. Next, we moved on to a decline reverse crunch, where you're trying to bring the pelvis to the sternum. So you got to get that butt up and then just control everything down. Really going to work those lower abs. These are great, and they're definitely super tough after having done crunches before. But wait, there was more, because after these we went on to a GHD setup. It's a bit more of an advanced exercise, but this is going to cook your abs. So you're going to try to come down and get a really good stretch, open up the core, really stretch out those abs, and then crunch your way up. You hungry?
Mm-hmm. Hungry.
It looks so good. My favorite part of the day. 8.5 weeks out, guys. The time just seems to fly. We are now officially 8.5 weeks out. Now I'm checking in with coach twice per week, and we did make some changes at 9 weeks out. We adjusted diet. We're around 2,000 calories right now, 205 protein, 188 carbs, 40 fat. Cardio is 12K steps a day. Plus the bike 35 minutes 5 times per week. So we did make some diet adjustments, and in my last check-in I weighed 183.6. Now we're about 4-5 days later-ish, and we are now 182.6. So we're down a pound. So things are starting to move, and the changes that we did make are starting to actually take effect. All right, so some of the changes that we're making this week is we are going to be adding in some tren. Tren is officially going in. We're going to stay on a low dose of tren to start, and things may ramp up as we go. We're only taking 150 milligrams. And then we're also going to go ahead and add in some yohimbine, 5 milligrams. That's going to be pre-workout. So on a day like today, which is a rest day, I will do cardio today, but no yohimbine. My coach wants it more so pre-workout. We're not trying to overload the system necessarily with stimulants. And the other thing is we're not trying to overload the system with anabolics. Sometimes when you're pushing things too much, your body is going to begin to fight back. If you're adding in too much toxicity or, too much chemical stress or too many stimulants, these things can backfire on your body. You could hold water, you can hold inflammation, and we want a consistent look. So we don't want to just necessarily jump 2 feet in to the deep end, because you can always swim out to the deep end. If you jump in right in the middle of the pool or even the shallow end and dip your toe in and start, making your way towards the deep end, if you need to go there even, then you'll actually be able to see what's happening when you get there versus just jumping straight in and missing out on all the gains that were in more of that shallow end. So that is that. And then a few other potential changes that may happen next week is we may adjust some cardio, and we may also start cycling through some low days again with my current base day diet, which is 7 days a week right now. But what we may also do is add in eventually a high day to bring my body back up. But right now I'm still fairly full. Like, I'm not flat and stringy yet, but we want to see some things start to really happen. So everything depends on how things are moving. So I'm going to continue to document these. Now I guess I'll be doing twice a week updates, as long as there is some changes that are happening. If it's similar or not much has changed, I'll probably just keep rolling each week at a time. But that's everything for right now, guys. We are about to go prepare one of my next meals and have this rest day and then get on with it. So I'll catch you guys later.